There's two indicators in astrology that my book refers to. One is the rising sign, the higher self, the ascendant, going up and really getting the high road of that. And the other is Saturn. And Saturn's like an old man. He's kind of grumpy. He's not friendly. He lives in a cave. I think he just kind of sits there and waits to give people assignments. I don't know. And he's funny when no one's looking. When you get to know him, he's got this wicked sense of humor, but he's kind of grandpa-like, and he's grumpy. And he's a woman. If he's a woman, he's just this older woman that doesn't look happy until you get to know them. And you find out they're filled with wisdom, and they drop those wisdom bombs, and you're so thankful you sat next to them, even though they didn't really invite you. So Saturn comes with harsh, it's Saturn return. It doesn't really give you an invitation. It screams. The rising sign is hovering. It's not a planet. It's an essence of your soul that you've got to get acquainted to fulfill your purpose. So they work in tandem. So to your point, yes, one part of me is a pleaser and harmony, and they can all smell it across the internet that I'm so nice. And then the other part of me is this blunt truth teller who's got a little bit of shades of Tourette's, like I say things that are inappropriate, like saying Tourette's. I have this way of, oops, and they don't get along. I mean, those are two flavors. The shapeshifter who's a pleaser does not get along with the honest one who says things that are not appropriate, and so I've had to make them friends. Now, this is the essence of astrology. It's like parts of you have to get coordinated. Well, I can't say it's a finished project. I'll be honest. I've measured my capacity of telling the truth. I do it when someone asks me a question or they're paying me. I made rules up so it was easier for me to take care of my bluntness. I've stopped the shape-shifting at my expense, usually after I do it first. So I can't say I can, I'm watching it. And it's become very endearing. I think the distinction that you're looking for is, it's not whether they get along or not, because there is really a kind of a wrestling match at times or a conflict. The additional component is I always get this little grin on my face, and then I look like you, because I think to myself, is it really that important? This is where I always land. I'm a non-dualist astrologer who realized that peace matters. This is Libra rising at the high road. Peace matters more than anything. When I get it wrong, I'll say I'm sorry to myself, because I just recently had an episode where I really disappointed myself because of the shapeshifter. I'm calling myself out kindly. I'm seeking counsel. I'm asking for help from my elders, the ones I trust. And I put it up to, I guess I'm still growing. I guess getting it wrong means I'm getting it right because I'm still interested. So you're going to have that your whole life. You're going to have to get used to being slightly humbled because your Saturn and the Virgo conflicted with this, they square, Sag and Virgo. You're going to have that conflict, and you're going to have to talk yourself through it and be really kind and go, wow. And once in a while, you'll get it really right. You'll be so proud of yourself. And then there'll be another episode.
You mentioned this piece about I'm watching it. And I think you said that in passing, but there's a really deep piece of your wisdom around the observer, actually, going back to your piece around psychology and astrology. Can you tell us a little bit about the observer?
I just had a flash of working with you on the phone and how much I love the way I know this is what you do one-on-one with people. You brought out the best of me because of this part of you. You go slow down, you go deep, you go straight to the important question. Yeah, I saw you do that when we were working together. When I was teaching you and I was learning about you through your openness. Let's see, go back to the question was, do it again.
The observer. You were mentioning
the most important thing in the whole wide world. How could I forget? Okay, ready? It's so fun. That's so fun. And that's the value of the observer. It's the humility to say, I don't know. The observer watches you from a distance, just like right then. I forgot where I was. I kindly asked you for your help. There was no shame or no embarrassment because my observer said, Deb, Amrit's got you. The observer is the part in all of us that knows all is well. We're on schedule. There's no judgments. The observer watches you like it's a reporter from the New York Times. It just reports. It doesn't have an opinion. It doesn't have any judgments. Oh, you forgot something. And because it's so compassionate, this is the part of us that is Switzerland, I like to call it. Like it just stands, no war, nothing. And if we could cultivate that as the landing pad, that when something goes wrong, it's been happening to me. I've been in an interesting era at this moment. And I keep hearing myself, I do this out loud, I swear. Observer, I say this to myself, observer on. And then I feel better. I give that to all of you in the audience. When you're caught in your emotional body, when your internal dialogue's driving you nuts, when you're feeling emotional, stop, take a breath. Observer on, get me out of here. That's another way to say, like, hold on a minute. Where is the pause button? And that's the observer. And it's become a muscle. It's what astrology is for, making the unconscious conscious. Come on up. We're going to look over here. Pay attention to the patterns. See if we can't be a facilitator of spirit, because I'm in the higher realm looking over at myself from the distance. And then I offer a blessing. And it takes away fear. It makes me less scared. It makes me more myself as the years have gone by. Don't tell anyone, but I don't like to socialize. And now I don't feel bad about it. Like I went to a wedding the other night, and I turned to my best friend was there, and I said, "You're not going to like this. I'm going to meet you in the car." He was like, "What?" I was like, "I've been here. We did the wedding. It was gorgeous. I finished dinner. I don't want to do it. I'm going to meet you in the car." And I did. And that's the knowing of oneself and knowing how to take care of my own rhythm, because I'm an 8th house sun, so I really love the quiet. Isn't that funny? Snuck out into the car. And my observer kicked in and said, "Debra, you look really bored." "Well, I am really bored." "Well, why don't you go take care of yourself? Go outside." "Okay, I will." So the observer is the free will zone. It's the get out of jail free card. It's where you suddenly have an option.
Yeah, it's has me reflecting on the time where I was coached by Eckhart Tolle to become like presence purpose coaching, and the key thing in there was even coming into the present moment from whichever direction was really about stepping back into that space of exactly what you're describing as the observer, you know, and astrology, the way you're teaching it does it as well. It's really profound. It's really profound.
And you'll know you're in your observer because you'll start smiling. Like all of a sudden, it's all funny. I mean, we're in a very dramatic movie. And this planet should be called water, not earth. It's all water. It's an emotional experience down here. That's what you came for, just in case you didn't know. And to manage the emotional body without the observer, without standing up and out, looking at your chart, getting I don't know how people do it.
Yeah, it's interesting. As you call the planet water, it makes me wonder about, is it extra hard for the fire types to be?
Yes, it's extra hard for the water types, because they're already emotional, and the planet's all water, and they're the ones that stay home. They don't want to go out of the house, and they don't believe in friendships anymore, and they just want to be around the dog and the kids. That's water people. Too much water is highly emotional down here. The fire people are having a drink.
Can I get my bearings with you in the conversation again? So we've got the Debra Silverman method, right? So we've got sun rising, and then also you've got this like unbridled love for Saturn. I mean, I know you mentioned he's an old man, but you've got an unbridled love for Saturn. So sun rising Saturn, Carl Jung, we've got id, superconscious, subconscious. Can you help us sort of pair? Can we pair them up? Do they pair as neatly?
It's funny, yes. It's so funny you asked that. In the book that I wrote, I Don't Believe in Astrology, I wanted to do this, and in the end we took it out. It doesn't really pair up as closely as that. I would say the superego, of course, is Saturn, giving the rules. The personality, the ego, would be the sun sign. And the id could be called the rising sign because it's the unconscious higher realm. But the id, according to traditional psychology, is not spiritual. Jung or Freud called it, ready? A cauldron of seething excitations. Like the id was this like, rah. So it wouldn't be really a good answer for the soul, for the rising sign, but so it didn't work. I tried. It's funny you asked this. I tried to put the three together. I think the shorter answer is, if you're hearing this interview and you're interested to answer the question, what did you come to learn, Saturn? How can you be in your full promise at the high road, your rising sign? And what should you be careful about, your sun sign, your ego, because it will try ego. evading God's oneness. It wants to be special.
Hey there, Inspired Evolutionary. If you absolutely loved this, well then here's a full conversation with this guest on the Inspired Evolution podcast. Check it out now.